Senator, it's always great to have you back on. What are you going to be looking for in the president's address? Let's show his approval. He's nearly 43%. He's ahead of George W. Bush. He's pacing Barack Obama. What are you expecting tonight?
Well, Liz, I think he's going to talk about what he's already accomplished over the last year, securing our border, bringing in manufacturing jobs, trillions of dollars in investments, passing the largest tax cut in the U.S. history, making sure we're paying attention to the middle class families, understanding that wages, real bring-home wages, have increased. I think you'll probably highlight the fact that a family of four making $73,000 or less will pay zero in federal income tax. And then I think he'll start talking about how secure our borders are, the fact that he didn't have to work with Congress to get one single new law passed. He just had to simply enforce the laws that Joe Biden refused to enforce. And we've had zero illegal entries for months. He can talk about how much when cities are willing to work with President Trump, how he can restore law and order. Right here in Washington, D.C., we've seen the crime rate actually plummet. We've seen murders plummet. We can see the inflation rate that was at a high of 9.1% under Joe Biden. Now it's an average of 2.4%. So he can point to the signs of our economy moving in the right direction. Optimism and where the country is headed is at the highest it's been in a long time. You see retention in our military that's at record levels. New recruits, people volunteering to stand up and defend our country at the highest rates and meeting expectations. And then I think Liz will start talking about the future, what tomorrow looks like, what bringing in the golden age is all about. We have done a lot, but we have a lot more to do.
Yeah, a lot more to do. You know, the president is expected to take on the Supreme Court justices attending for ruling against his tariffs. But he's going to likely hammer Biden's record that he inherited. Show it. 40-year high inflation, record gas and electricity prices, open borders, a fentanyl crisis, gang violence, global instability. What do you make of this that now 70 Democrats plan to boycott his address? They're going to attend one of two different Democrat rallies, likely highly criticizing America. What do you think of this?
Good riddance to them. You want to continue to lean into the left and have this anti-America approach because that's what it is. The fact is that they can't actually talk against the president's record. And you can tell because every time they try talking about the president, they invoke racism. And when you can't actually argue on a logical point, that's the direction you want to take it. And so I hope they don't attend because if they're there to disrupt, then let the American people enjoy what the president of the United States that they elected over a year ago. Let him speak. But if they're going to be there to disrupt, then go do whatever you want to do and continue to fight for criminals and drug lords around our country. And we'll be focused on the American people and law and order.
Yeah, I mean, we hear from both sides of the aisle. They privately tell us that he's the hardest working president they've ever seen.